Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Recoded cutscene commentary. And actually, even though, you know, we're only 2 out of 5 parts through here, it actually makes me appreciate that the story of Coded does actually move along at a pretty fair clip. Because we've had sort of the first act's twist reveal that XGamerRichy, aka Jiminy's Journal, had imported Mickey, Donald and Goofy into the datascape in order to help solve the mystery, and Jiminy, I forgot about Jiminy, you can never forget about Jiminy, into the datascape in order to solve the mystery of the hidden entry. And yeah, it's one of those moments where you just go, oh, what? I mean, like, Data World and Datasaur and stuff I can sort of get alongside with, but yeah, getting imported into a datascape and so on and so forth is the moment where your brain just goes, I'm sorry, what? But that said, when you finally found him in the we're actually going to be getting through a surprisingly large number of worlds already. I mean, obviously in the first episode we got through Destiny Island, Traverse Town and Wonderland. This part, we are only going to get through 2, which is Olympus Coliseum and Agrabah, but there is quite a lot of stuff that does happen primarily in Agrabah. Because ultimately it leads into effectively the final chapters of the game, ultimately. And it's quite fascinating to see that that's all sort of how it pans out. And I suppose whilst we're here I should probably bring up a sort of key gameplay quirk that they introduced into Recoded. So basically the way that it works is that you play through the world sort of normally in that 3D style.
My name's Cloud.
You have your command deck. There's a thing called the clock program and passive abilities, which is effectively the way that you sort of level up things. And if you reach max clock, Sora can unleash a powerful finishing strike. It's quite cool.
Seriously? I missed?
But yes, with the data worlds, you seek out system sectors. Areas in each of the world's core programming which contain bugs and corrupted data, which cause glitches, so missing objects, location being horribly distorted, and basically you are set navigating through a set number of floors, eliminating bugged heartless targets in each. You can defeat, well, you can destroy bug boxes, or bug blocks, which are the sort of big red block things, and defeating them and Heartless awards you sector points, but if you get hit by an enemy attack then you lose some of your sector points, and by completing each floor and moving on to the terminal you can cash in your accrued sector points for exclusive accessories and commands, which is great. Once you've reached a certain point, each world then contains special events that feature very, very different gameplay styles. So you have a side-scroller platformer in Traverse Town. Wonderland has a rail shooting obstacle course. Olympus Coliseum has a turn-based party combat style. It's very similar to Final Fantasy's combat style, actually, specifically Final Fantasy VII, which makes sense considering, you know, it's Cloud.
We have to do something about
and each of those events is ends with a grading system based on the player's performance therein, which then gives you a special bonus item or items if you achieve outstanding grades. And you go through this for all of the data worlds, bar I believe the final one from what I remember, but once again the last time I played Recoded was 7 years ago in 2011 when it came out. So my full memory of how the game all played and worked is it's a long time ago. But I do remember that it was a very fun little oddity in how everything worked. Some of the special bits worked better than others. Like I recall this turn-based bit being a lot more fun than Wonderland's rail shooting, if only because I recall Wonderland's rail shooting including a fight against Trickmaster, and I hate Trickmaster in every single form he's ever appeared in. So yeah, just kind of get rid of that sort of stuff, because can he be dealing with it like?
Hey there! I think you might be forgetting a few loose ends, like...
You also had something called the Matrix system, which is how you level up and got commands and all sorts of stuff. So each Matrix dealt with different aspects of sort of character development.
I have a theory.
So
Hey, Herc.
it works similarly to Final Fantasy X Sphere Grid in that you progress along a single line, so a line of circuitry within the Matrix, with paths which are segmented into blocks. Throughout your quest you receive panels, like you do in Days. Those panels can be placed in some of those blocks, and they amplify the applicable stats, which means you can progress further through the Matrix. You also get level up panels, which is obviously very much like Days, and then also scattered throughout the Matrix are ability panels, which, when the line of active circuitry connects to one of them, you gain abilities like Scan, Combo Plus, and Dodge Roll.
That's the job.
Hero, huh?
You also get a whole bunch of other things
Come on.
that you
better
can
go find
do.
Bill. He's
As you progress,
probably
the
pretty
Matrix expands, and if you place panels between two CPUs, it activates dual processing, which doubles the power of those panels, so you can get double the effect. So it's a bit more complex in a way than Daisy's system, but I would say that it's much easier to do because you're just running along one path. I believe it's also in the stat matrix where you can change the difficulty of the game. It's, I believe, one of the only games in the KH franchise where you can actually change the difficulty of the game on the fly.
And shown up on your monitor.
So you can adjust it between beginner, standard, proud, and critical at any time, which you were never able to do in any of the other games. Admittedly, I like that idea, because there are certain times in certain games where you might think that you're doing okay on proud, and then go, oh no, this is too challenging, I can't actually deal with this, and then drop down to standard. I think actually I did end up doing that when I played Recoded, because there were some challenges that were not pleasant.
Thought I'd take a little vacay from the outside world.
Still, Pete's here.
Well, this here world
It's
belongs
Pete.
to me, so mitts off.
So yeah, then you have the command matrix, which effectively works similarly to Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep's command melding, in that you take commands, supplement it with another skill, and you can add extra things to them, and then you get a new command out of that.
And that must mean he's up to no good.
You can permanently fuse skills, and then you get all sorts,
this
and
place would be busy. It's like a ghost town.
it's great.
What happened here?
You also have the gear matrix, which is basically how you handle equipment, split into keyblade and accessory. So you gain new keyblades, obviously, but these change the passive abilities you get through the overclock program's leveling system. If you use the same keyblade, its level increases, you unlock more abilities and access to different branches, and so on and so forth. And that's quite awesome. So I suppose in a way it gives you a reason to keep using certain keyblades more than others, so you can really find ones that you like and stick with them, which is certainly not something that is available in pretty much any of the other Kingdom Hearts games, where your main route is going, well, even if I don't like the look of this one, it's more powerful than the others, and therefore it makes more sense to use it. It's one of the things I'm most looking forward to in Kingdom Hearts 3, is being able to select whatever Keyblades I like and switch them on the fly, and really just enjoy them, because it's less about the stats and more about the abilities that they have, and that means that I've got much more an effective sort of run with the whole shebang.
Better not catch you bothering my friends again, Iago.
And oh, Iago, the delight, the delight
Why did Aladdin have this old thing?
that is Iago.
Yes, maybe it's the treasure they found in the Cave of Wonders. What's happening?
So, you got troubles? Well, you've come to the right... Hey, wait, you're not Al.
My friends call me Sora. Al? As in Aladdin? Aladdin! He can't move because Jafar stopped time, so he's kind of stuck. Who are you?
Name's Genie of the Lamp. How you doing? Just make a wish and all your problems will be solved. Magic at your service all day, 24/7
So,
and 3.
obviously, last time I did mention that voice actors had changed over the years.
Tons of wishes.
Well, a prime example is right here with Genie. So, obviously, original Genie in Aladdin is voiced by the late, great Robin Williams, who was incredible. And really nobody can ever beat Robin Williams. I mean, like, seriously, it's impossible.
Check it out. What do you think of your new, totally
So,
free city, Master?
Basically, Dan Castellaneta, who most people know for, you know, being Homer Simpson on The Simpsons, among many, many, many other characters, has done a relatively large amount of voicing of Genie over the years.
Aww, no way.
I'm sorry, kid.
So, he has voiced Genie in, well, all of the Kingdom Hearts games up to this point. But for the recoded, kind of the cutscenes here, he has been replaced by Jim Meskimen, who I believe is now the official voice of Genie. And so we'll continue to voice Genie from this point, I believe. His first performance as Genie was in Connect Disneyland Adventures, which is not a great role to be going, well, great game to be starting with. But he is doing a pretty gosh darn good job, and
where do you think Pete decided to go to?
Is
And how did he get
really
Pete shouldn't even exist in
pretty
the
excellent,
basic.
and I look forward to seeing
Everything I can tell.
what more work he does as Genie, because I think
He must
Dan
have found a way
Castellaneta
to
did
infiltrate
a
the
pretty
world.
decent job
I just don't know
of
how.
Genie, but I think that Jim Meskimen actually
We know
gets
he didn't have
much
access to
closer
this
to
So
Robin
that
Williams'
must
Genie
prove there's another way for
than
somebody to get inside the data set.
Dan
But
did.
Jiminy,
So
the only journals
I'm
are
quite
right
excited
here.
to see where he goes, because I think he did do a really good job here, and that is
Yes,
that's great.
but I'm still gonna worry about Pete.
That said,
We gotta come
moving
up with a
from
plan
this
in case
point
something happens.
onwards, in 2019, we are getting the Will Smith
I
Aladdin.
have just what we
Well,
need.
the Will Smith Genie in Aladdin,
I know what
in the live-action Aladdin, and
With help
hmm.
from the genie, you avoided Jafar's traps.
That's basically
and headed into the Cave of Wonders.
my reaction to that one. I don't know how
More
well it's
spell.
going to go. I
You cornered the vizier
have
in the
doubts.
lamp chamber.
I have major
But
doubts.
he had the upper hand. He still possessed the
But
replica of the
hey,
lamp.
we shall see how it
Making his final
goes.
wish,
I'm not going to fully
Jafar
judge it
transformed
until,
himself
you know, I've
into a
actually seen
genie.
it.
Then,
But
using his
I
new
have
powers, he
concerns,
disappeared inside
many
the
of
keyhole.
them.
Oh, I see you are no ordinary street rat. Not if you could elude my ingenious...
Jonathan Freeman.
Impressive.
Brilliant
But your persistence
as
has won you
Jafar.
nothing.
Great as Jafar. Obviously, you've got Gilbert Gottfried as Iago as well. Just whenever you can get some of these great voice actors in here, it's always a delight. I mean, Haley Joel Osment's still killing it as
I don't
Sora.
stand a chance.
He does have
What do I
that
do?
sort of
Genie to Sora.
weird bit that he
Sora, do you read me?
has had for a number of games of trying to obviously sound younger, because obviously he is getting older now. He's not old. He's in like his 30s and stuff.
Lamp. Roger that, Genie.
But obviously when you're trying to sound like a teenager when you're in your 30s, it's a little bit difficult.
Stand still, you
So
bothersome rat.
he's actively trying to make his voice sound younger, and I think that it's not really until, from what I've heard of Kingdom Hearts 3, where really he's
Bow to me.
found his Sora voice again. Which is unfortunate. He's doing a great job. David Gallagher is Riku, great job. Obviously, Bill Farmer and Tony Anselmo as Donald, well, Goofy and Donald, amazing. Brett Ewan, still doing a really, really good job as Mickey. I think by this point he had begun to settle a lot more into the role, and so it's a much more compelling performance than in Birth by Sleep, where you could tell that he was just kind of settling in to the role. And obviously everybody else that's involved in the game, they all do great jobs. I mean, even when, I've been a little bit critical, they're still doing excellent jobs. It's just where I obviously have mentioned that it's because it doesn't sound like what I'm expecting it to. And, yeah, and... Jim Cummings. Love you, Jim Cummings, mate, you're great.
I found you.
But, yes, we are about to get some pretty major stuff occurring.
It's time for me to go. I wish you to help Jasmine home and give the lamp back to Aladdin.
Consider it done. That's wish number 2. And what's on the menu for numero 3?
I want my last wish to go to Aladdin.
Huh?
If he hadn't found the magic lamp, we never would have met and become such good friends. On top of that, I know here, he'll use it for you, for something good that's sure to make you happy.
Aww, it's
You're
so
the
sweet.
best. Talk about a friend. I'll tell Al that's how you feel. Catch you later, Sora.
Goodbye, Genie. Thanks for your help with everything. You're the best, too. There you are, Pete. You're not getting away this time.
So yes, this is a very, very serious cutscene, and certainly is worth paying attention to.
You little pipsqueak.
Huh?
I think it's time to show you who's the real boss. Come on out, Maleficent!
Who's that?
Must you always be so exasperating, my dear child? Do you require a reminder of my past? Isn't that odd?
Huh?
So we see 'twas but a lie. And now that it's gone, this entire world shall be mine to rule. Yes, my loyal minions. Drag all that you see into deepest darkness! Ah!
You okay?
Huh? Riku! Mickey!
Maleficent! What are you doing here in the datascape?
Datascape? Spare me your dull details.
But since you're wondering, it was all my idea, you bozo. We caught wind right away you was up to something, see? So I decided to pay you a little visit on Maleficent's orders. And what do I find?
What's that bright light?
And that's how yours truly got sucked into the light show. I woke up all by my lonesome in the weirdest place. Oh! Maleficent! You seeing this? Better get here right away!
You'll take no such time with me. What is this place?
I ain't no expert, but I think it's hooking a bunch of places together. Could come in handy for taking over them worlds, huh?
It does seem. For once you may have done something right.
And there you have it. Me and Maleficent been digging around in here ever since. Lucky for us, this world connects right to that there shiny castle of yours, Mickey. Oh, right. I mean, it used to. But that was before I took control of the only way out, making sure you guys are stuck here forever.
It was you! You're the one who cut the link!
Of what consequence is that now? Both worlds shall be mine quite soon. Then, when I have immersed this world in darkness, I shall send my heartless horde back into your little castle under my command.
That'll never happen.
The long slumber ends, and very, very soon, all the worlds will belong to me. Just one thing. My worlds must be free of light, and yours are far too bright. It is time for all of you to fall under my spell into a deep sleep.
You're wrong. This is one world you won't touch.
You fools!
Riku!
Don't you know he belongs to the darkness? That means he is destined to be consumed by it like the rest of us. This boy is under my control now. I have great hope that he will prove to be more than useful.
Looks like it's game over. And you suckers are just a bunch of losers.
Riku! He's gone.
So, yes, Riku's been kidnapped, which seems like a nice change of events, because it's normally Kairi, at least Riku's, taking up with the kid getting kidnapped slack here. But also, Sora's Keyblade's been completely destroyed, because obviously it was only data, it wasn't real.
Worlds still have bugs left in them?
And, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but only one world has bugs left in it.
That sure is a shame.
And,
It was so
that
close to being done.
is Hollow Bastion.
Getting all the bugs would have meant finding a way back home for all of you.
And everyone's getting a little bit defeated right now,
Guys,
but it's certainly
I'm
not
sorry.
over yet.
I really blew it this time.
It's not your fault, Sora. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything. I promise.
Your Majesty, that's dangerous.
I know I can find another way to get rid of the bugs. And rescue Riku, too.
Sounds good. Count me in. That's weird. My Keyblade isn't working.
Sora, I'm sorry. But your Keyblade was completely destroyed by Maleficent.
No way! But how?
Thing is, about that Keyblade, it was just an object that we programmed into the datascape from the outside world.
Huh?
There's nothing we can do in here. But once we're all back at the real castle, we might be able to rewrite the data and make a new one. Except, one problem. Maleficent is blocking the path out of here. Until we can find a way back, you'll just have to do without one.
But what will I...
Don't you worry. Now it's time for me to show you what I can do. You guys, hold down the fort.
Hold the fort, Mickey. Not hold down the fort. You're not gonna frickin' tickle it.
I sure hope the kid is okay.
Of course he is. After all, King Mickey's brave and strong.
And a little bit reckless. And a little bit foolish. And also has, fallen into the darkness. I mean, I know we made it out and he was fine,
He's
but
gonna
still!
have to deal with whatever Maleficent and Pete are up to.
And with the bugs, maybe we should be getting worried, huh?
Well, the kid said to stay here. What do you think we should do?
Yeah, you really should keep an eye on that boy, because he ain't going to listen to a word you're saying. He's just going to be reckless and do his own thing.